Coming up on Point News, the big 2016 presidential election is getting all the media attention, but is that causing the primary election to be overlooked? Plus, find out how all the different UView shows will be benefiting from new equipment. And Pittsburgh got a visit from the White House. Find out how Point Park students took advantage of this visit. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon, I'm Maggie McCauley.
And I'm Nick Vasella. Today, political experts are analyzing the second GOP presidential debate.
Wednesday evening, 11 Republican candidates for president faced off during the primetime event. One of the headlines was the performance of Carly Fiorina.
But another less talked about headline in this political season in general is the November elections. Point News reporter Brittany Loffer explains what's brand new this year.
For the first time ever, you now can register to vote online. The state is working to make things more convenient for voters. But what I found is despite making it easier to vote, it still may be difficult to get people up to the polls this November.
It's simple. It's quick. But will it be enough? It's hard to get voters' attention when these names don't include a presidential candidate.
It's always important because a lot of the important stuff really happens on a local level and a state level.
Because it affects the community where you live in and the places that you go to every day, so it's definitely important on a local level.
But it seems those voters are in the minority. According to the Allegheny County Elections Office, double, sometimes triple the number of voters come out for the presidential elections compared with local races.
So it's not promoted as much for a variety of reasons. Many of the candidates, we have 130 municipalities. You may only represent 500 citizens, where the president represents like 250 million people. So it's just a matter of scale.
This year's elections include mayors, school directors, tax collectors, auditors, and other local offices. The election office is trying to get the word out that these smaller races have a bigger impact on you.
You have nothing to gripe about if you don't vote.
It's a privilege. It's a right.
We'll see if this new online registration option gets more people out on November 3rd. If you still need to sign up, you have until October 5th. Reporting for Point News, I'm Brittany Loffer.
Back to last night's debate, CNN hosted the event in the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. It featured billionaire Donald Trump and neurosurgeon Ben Carson, who's second in the polls. Carly Fiorina made her first appearance on the main stage, and many political experts are calling her the breakout star of the night. On the other side of the card, the first Democratic debate is scheduled for October 13th in Las Vegas, with Anderson Cooper set to moderate.
Protests demanding change for the U.S. steel workers had streets around Point Park University blocked off. The rally on September 1st included 2,000 people making their voices heard right through the middle of campus. Marchers called for contract settlements with U.S. Steel and Allegheny Technologies. 2,000 workers were locked out after months of negotiations failed. They're asking for better benefits and health care. The companies say they're committed to operating without disruption while tasks continue.
Vice President Joe Biden spent Labor Day marching right through Point Park University's campus. He joined thousands of others in the annual Labor Day parade. Biden is considering a run for the White House, and many were wondering if he'd make that announcement here, but he did not. About 60,000 people participated in the parade. It included more than 100 labor groups marching for the middle class. Pittsburgh has one of the biggest Labor Day parades in the country. There were about 60,000 people participated in the parade. It included more than 100 labor groups marching for the middle class. Pittsburgh has one of the biggest Labor Day parades in the country.
Joining the Labor Day crowds were a few members of the Point Park women's soccer team, who actually got the opportunity to meet and talk with the vice president. Audra Lewis, Justina Sincotti, and Anna Goforth were coming back from soccer practice when they saw the police cars and found out who they were for. They stated eventually got a chance to meet Vice President Biden and take this picture with them.
Yeah, he was super nice. He was like shaking everybody's hands it's like along the side of the road, and so then when he got up to us, he like read our shirts and was like, "Oh, Point Park soccer." And we were like, "Yeah!" And he like shook all of our hands. So I was like, "Can we get a picture?" And he asked like if we had practice that day, which we did, and he was asking like about games and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Photo became popular on Facebook with more than 160 likes.
A new semester is underway for students here at UView, and members of the production team are getting used to a few changes, mainly some brand new equipment. Point News reporter Nick Versilla has the details from inside our control room.
Point Park often prides itself on giving its students hands-on, real-world experience. This semester, new technology, such as the TriCaster 8000 IT switcher, among other new equipment, is giving its students both production and broadcast journalism one step closer to the real world.
Camera 2 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut camera 2, open mics, cue talent.
Tonight we will cover the baseball and softball's race to the playoffs.
In previous semesters, all the different UView shows had been restricted to one standard backdrop and limited effects. But studio supervisor Paul Coatsworth says that's all changing.
Well, we're very excited. We have a brand new complete green screen wall in the studio, which is working with our new switcher that is an IT-based switcher, which is something none of us have ever worked with before. So we're learning as we go. It's a NewTek TriCaster, and our old switcher had 1 effects bank. This one has 8. So it will do considerably more than our old one used to do, and will open up a number of options for students for their own productions.
Now, all of the different UView shows, such as Pioneer Sideline and Entertainment on Point, will have their own customized look.
I think it's great. It gives the students more creativity with our shows. It changes up the studio, makes it a little more high-tech for the newer generation coming in.
School Communication Chair Tom Baggerman hopes the new equipment will give students a competitive edge when searching for jobs.
We continued our philosophy of buying small versions of what you're going to see out in the real world. So the actual switching board operates just like any switcher you're going to find, but the computer back end of the TriCaster will help students be ready to see that at their first job.
It's more marketable, more fun for us to learn something. That's a resume builder right there. I get to say, hey, I can use a TriCaster 8000, I can use a virtual set. That's something that other schools don't have.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Nick Versilla.
The amount of clubs at Point Park have reached an all-time high, and students had the opportunity to see all these clubs in action at the Activities Fair on campus.
And Point Park's Campus Activities Board welcomed back students in a fun and awesome way. That's next on Point News.
Every year, the Campus Activity Board, also known as CAB, hosts an event.
Here at the Pioneer Sideline, we get freshmen involved as quickly as possible so they get the real-world experience on air and behind the scenes to set themselves apart in internships and potential jobs. Blaine, where is that video? I needed it in KeyPro like yesterday.
All right, I got you, Chris. But I got a quick question for you guys.
What do you mean a question?
Just, like,
It's always a
answer me
question.
question.
It's always a... What? Where is he? Blaine!
Blaine!
Blaine! Freshman, you can't find any good ones anymore.
Ever wanted to be behind the mic and have the world listening to your show on campus? Well, it's just as simple as joining WPPJ, Point Park's student-run radio station, located on the 2nd floor of Lawrence Hall, right next to the dining services. Listeners can tune in using Point Park's website or through the TuneIn app by searching WPPJ. WPPJ welcomes any new DJs that want to get involved, so be heard. Do you have what it takes?
An expression, a belief, a symbol, freedom to worship, an unspoken word. To express yourself means standing up for what you believe in. There's a freedom to worship and a freedom to live. To speak never saying a word, to love, to let your voice be heard. The light of your own path. For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
Right now, university clubs are working to recruit you. Organizations began signing up students at this year's August 31st Activities Fair. More than 25 clubs participated. It was a chance for club leaders to brag about their group and try to get new members.
Looking at the organizations, we're like screaming at the ladies, you know.
We're just trying to contact as many students as possible that don't know about WPPJ, because there are a lot of students out there who have never heard about the station.
If you weren't able to make it to the activities fair, it's not too late. Just check OrgSync to see club options. One of the biggest parties to kick off the school year had a new theme this year.
Welcome Week featured a big party. We sent Point News reporter Blaine King to check it out.
Every year, the Campus Activity Board, also known as CAB, hosts an event during Welcome Week. This year's event was a dance, and the theme of this dance was Everything is Awesome from the Lego Movie.
All the fun was to get students relaxed and ready for the school year, but it was also to show off a little bit.
Subliminally, this event kind of showcases how awesome our students are, how awesome this campus is, how awesome the city of Pittsburgh is, and we like to toot our own horn sometimes, how awesome CAB is. So it's a really great way for us to showcase our efforts.
Everything is Awesome dance featured music, giveaways, ice cream, and even a movie. This year, it was easy to pick a theme.
I mean, it was really funny. We were looking at what Point Park's marketing team was doing for Welcome Week, and they just had these Lego pieces all around, and that's when it really clicked that we really needed to do something with the Lego movie.
Students say all of CAB's efforts made a great start to the school year.
Well, I like the Lego movie, and since I'm a freshman, it's my goal to just go to all of the events and try to meet as much people as possible.
Just everyone doing everything all at once, and the Lego movie's just randomly playing on the side. It's a cool combination.
CAB will continue to host events here on the Point Park campus like the Condom Carnival, the Gothic Gala, and the Kickoff. You can find out when these events are happening and more by giving CAB a follow on Twitter at Point Park CAB, or giving them a like on Facebook at Campus Activity Board at Point Park University. From the ballroom, this is Blaine King reporting for Point News, sending it back to the desk.
The Pirates are trying to stay in the playoff race as they take on a division rival. We have their latest standings next.
And a special event on campus made Pittsburghers feel right at home.
If you're having trouble with your schoolwork this semester, there's a helpful place on campus that you should know about. On the 7th floor of Lawrence Hall is the Program for Academic Success, which provides services like tutoring and academic counseling. The program's Writing Center is specifically designed to help you with your writing assignments, and you can even get help for them online. Students are encouraged to stop in the office, give a call, or send an email.
Every human being has a purpose, has a dream to have their voices heard, no matter where they come from, no matter where they go. As an American, it is their right to have freedom of speech. I have a dream that one day this message will speak louder than words, that even the quietest voice will not go unnoticed. That is my dream. What is yours? For more information, visit www.freedomofspeechpsa.org.
If you say yins or an at, you're probably a yinzer.
Or if you go out to downtown, you're probably a yinzer. As Point News reporter Paul Daniels shows us, this week it was time for you to show off Pittsburgh pride at the Yinzer Bash.
Here at the Lawrence Hall Ballroom every year, the Campus Activities Board hosts a Yinzer party. And this is one of the raffle prizes you can win, a Yinzer chair. I know if I was a true Pittsburgher, I would want to win this prize. This is where true Pittsburghers felt right at home. Pittsburgh popcorn, pierogies, or watching Perks of Being a Wallflower, a movie filmed right here in the Steel City. And since we are the city of champions, the competitive spirit kicked in with a game of Plinko. Or trying to win a raffle prize.
I just love Pittsburgh's culture, and I just thought it would be a fun thing to come down with friends, just enjoy it.
And others just came for the food.
Because of Pittsburgh's amazing pierogies and the Pittsburgh Popcorn Company.
In addition to helping students from this area feel at home, it also helped those from outside the area adjust to the local flavor.
It's a really nice way to get students acclimated to the city. I'm a lifelong Yinzer, but that doesn't mean that people are used to the city.
The Campus Activities Board hosts events like this all year, and it's a great way to get involved. I'm Paul Daniels, reporting for Point News.
Pittsburgh weather goes from being cold to hot in a matter of days.
Are we going to see the warm weather stay, or is it going to start to cool down or for fall? We send it to Taisha Thompson with the weather forecast.
We have seen beautiful weather this week, and it's going to continue throughout the weekend. But first, let's take a look at today's forecast. Temperatures today are in the upper 80s with a high of 86 and the low of 58. Partly cloudy. Temperatures are going to continue to be in the 80s with a high of 87 with a low of 52. And as for Sunday, we're going to see a huge drop in the temperature going from the upper 80s to the lower 70s with a temperature of 71 degrees for your high. And for your low, we will see 51 degrees, partly cloudy. So it might be a good time to get out there and enjoy this perfect weather before we start to see more fall-like temperatures. That's your forecast for the weekend. Now back over to Nick and Maggie.
Thanks, Taisha. The Pittsburgh Pirates entered this week's series against the Chicago Cubs just 2.5 games behind the first-place St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Central Division. But all that has changed. After splitting the doubleheader Tuesday, the Cubs beat the Pirates last night 3-2 in the 12th inning. The two teams are currently playing right now in the series finale, with the Pirates now 4 games behind the Cardinals in the Central Division. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they're set to play the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday at 1 p.m. at Heinz Field. The Steelers are hoping to rebound after their disappointing 28-21 loss to the New England Patriots last Thursday. During the game, there was controversy, again, in the first half, after Steelers coaches and players were hearing the New England radio station coming in through their headsets. The issue is currently under investigation by the NFL. The Point Park women's soccer team won its game against Ohio Christian University Tuesday 3-1. Point Park senior Lisa Taratsky scored 2 goals within 5 minutes and got another goal from junior Aaron Gilmartin. The team will play number 18 ranked Siena Heights this Saturday in Michigan at 1 p.m. The men's soccer team also won this week over Penn State Beaver by a score of 2-1, with goals by Alan Ramos and Paul Carr. The team will now play number 5 ranked Rio Grande in Ohio this Saturday at 2.
That does it for this week's Point News. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m.
Have a great week, everybody. See you next time.